Hello Dreamies! Today we're gonna be playing the new game mode, and I'm then gonna give my honest opinions. And is it worth it to play it or is it not worth it? Without further ado, let's go. So as we can see, there is a new mode called Solo Performance. And you can choose to either be a survivor or hunter. But as always, there's a twist. Your build can only be what the top 100s use. But besides that, it functions like your average rank match. Except there's no winning and losing, and you can rematch the hunter up to 10 rounds or you can leave early. And it's honestly about the same as regular customs. Since if I forgot to mention, it doesn't give any experience points. And it also goes off of your tier, so if you're peak tier you will only see peak tiers. Which I think was really nice to add, so we don't have peak tiers versus elks or vice versa. And you may be asking yourself, what's the problem? It seems like a good mode, and it is. However, since we're going off of top players' builds, you for example can have an acrobat with full kite spawning in Leo's Memory Factory, or a journalist spawning 2-story on Sacred Heart, which is creating a very unrealistic match, since when is a journalist ever gonna be in the strongest area? And I've also heard that on some characters that don't have confined just can't bring it on maps like Red Church or something. But besides that, I'm in love with the mode, and I can't wait to show you some of my replays I did today. And without further ado, let's go. So I spawned in the bottom near shacks, since that's normally where I would spawn as mechanic or basically almost anyone. And these are the builds me and Nightmare had, in case you were wondering. So I decoded since there's nothing else to do but wait. He eventually got closer, so I started going outside to loop this area for a bit. I saw him go upstairs, so I can't wait outside or I might get a drop down. And luckily there is cracks in the wall so I can see him. But here he did a really good red light trick, so I took a hit. I run back into 2-story and leave my bees in the pallet so I have time to run upstairs. I was able to force a basic hit on my bees so I can get ever so slightly more distance. And he uses warp. Luckily he overshot it, so I'm able to vault the pallet. With my bees on cooldown, I just have to hope he messes up. I feel like he could have hit me if he basic attacked, but maybe not. Anyways, I somehow landed this perfect flywheel extending my kite. Now keep in mind we have to adapt to his playstyle, so we know he loves his mind games. And I don't know how that missed, he definitely got robbed on some of these. Anyways, I channeled my inner Doc main and I spammed some pallets. Anyways, he finally broke a pallet. But the loop isn't dead yet, since that's now a place I put my bees at. I knew I wasn't gonna last long at that area, so now I'm using the map to my advantage. Which is a bit like cheating, since on Arms Factory you don't have any areas like this. Anyways, I was patient and waited for him to get a bit closer. And back to Hunter's Cottage it is. The only thing I can use to kite is this pallet. Which why is this here and what is it useful for? Like I basically already cornered myself. But somehow this worked, I guess. I just have to try and keep repeating it. Okay, I'm actually kinda goated. Well, that was the end, but that wasn't too bad of a kite. Now in this game versus a different hunter, I chose Antiquarian since I feel like I need to practice on my flutes. But I barely play Antiquarian besides from a few matches or TikTok clips. Which you should totally like and subscribe, and then follow my TikTok link in description and bio. Anyways, I wasn't entirely sure if he saw me or didn't, so I came down just to make sure it's a fair game. Now I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know how to kite a gamekeeper even as Antiquarian. But that is what this mode is for, practicing and training versus the top hunters. Also, I don't know if I made a recording error and that's why we have no sound or what happened to it. I'm very sorry though. Okay, that was really early hit and I flopped. If other peak tiers were here, I would have been yo-yo pinged and Antiquarian send your location. Which is so weird to me because we all make mistakes, so why are we attacking others for it? Especially in a team game where we all have to work together no matter what. I got a bit off topic, but I heard him placing a trap down below. So luckily, since I chose Antiquarian, I can break it easily, plus I have flywheel. Now looking back at it, I should have used my flute and saved my flywheel. Anyways, his blink is up, so we have to be very careful. Okay, dodged the hook, now I have to do the same for blink. Well, I failed, but at least I had the idea in my head, that's what matters. Luckily, this gamekeeper wanted to rematch, so this time we're on Eversleeping, which is my favorite map. I know every dungeon location, every basement, every pallet, everything. Anyways, he tried to catch me off guard over there, so I counter-rotated and went to graveyard. I bought so much time before the kite even started. But remember his playstyle last time, we have to adapt or else we will never learn. So he trapped the window, so we have to break it later. And we see his red light coming from over here, so we're gonna use these pallets. Keep in mind he just used hook, so it will be up in 10 seconds or so. Another trap at this pallet, so we're basically forced to go to the window. He hooks us, but we have flywheel. And then we have to use another flute to break the trap. He got in the way, so it broke the trap and stunned him as well. So by now we know blink is up, and so is his hook. I thought he would blink, but not yet. I dodged the hook, and I know he expects me to walk through pallets, so this time I switch it up. This is already an upgrade from the last kite. I just need to try and force trait. He placed a trap at the window, so I'm basically dead. Oh my god, he hit me in the train tracks. Okay, that's actually super funny, and seeing Zane's animation when he gets hit. Anyways, I get on tram since there's nothing to do. And would you look at that, he trait swaps just to kill me. That was a really good kite though, so I'm proud. So now we're on the last match just for today. And we're now versus a peddler. Now, no, I said spawning in overpowered areas making it unfun, which I feel like on mechanic, though it makes the most sense. Or in general, any very weak hitter I think is okay, but if you're toy merchant spawning big boat, that's questionable. Anyways, I got my first chip, which is already bad versus peddler. But one of my favorite mechanic bot blocking areas is here on big boat. Since it forced them to hit it or drop down, which is both fine with me. She chose to hit it and then drop down. I know she wants to chip down me, though I would rather force basic than chip. So we dodged the chip hit and run away from her door. I thought her chip was placed in front of me, but I'm not sure. This bot block though, I'm so proud of it, Persica has taught me well. And usually 2 good bot blocks means it should be 60-second kite guarantee. So now all I'm gonna do is avoid her chips and use pallets when needed. 60 seconds plus a forced basic attack. And I heard her vine. So we have to dodge that as well. Usually I try to circle around it, but you can't do that on stairs. So I just had to like turn around and go down the stairs. This kite should end very soon though. Remember, taking a basic attack and forcing recovery is better than a chip. But that was the end of this kite. So that's gonna be the end for this video. Overall, I think it's very fun. I'm just a bit worried about people using full kite in good areas as perfumer. But let me know your opinions and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching and bye bye.